Mr. Seek here for a new video. This video will be a demo review of the CT side of our Overpass game. Now, we lost the CT side 14-1, so there's not a whole lot of T side to talk about, but the CT side had a couple of problems. The rounds I'm going to be going over, let's see, which ones? I think 4, 6, and 12, if you want to follow along at home, are good to point out. So this is round number 4, first gun round. We have an op, which is great, because I think, yeah, I had enough money to drop Savage and op, and I call, okay, we're going to push A, and we there's just some incorrect coordination going on. So I call a push A, and what that means is myself, the rotator, I'm going to go A, beginning of the round, along with Church here, or Leviathan, whatever he goes by in SIBO. And I go down connector, while the other two guys go mid. And I like it. Like they, I miss my smoke, because I don't know, I'm dumb. I miss my smoke. But I like this setup. Saint can watch out party, Church can get a couple shots off and fall back, and I am down connector. Now, unfortunately, if you've noticed, they're doing a B hit, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. What this means is we can get down. How I want us to respond to this is probably all three of us run down connector and try and get water control, so that we can either stop them here, or if they do run out and overwhelm Savage, then we can at least do a duel. Then we can at least retake from three locations if they're all on the site. So that's good. You'll notice in a minute when I resume this that's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, okay, push down connector. Savage died, and I'm going to go back to that in a minute. But I peek out, I get a kill, and I fall back because Saint is already rotating back, and Church is going for the big fight. So I would consider those both mistakes on Church's part and Saint's part. If we want to rotate the long way, it's going to take too long. They're going to have the site already. This is the long way. This is the long way. So from now on, if we're pushing mid, I want to go out. I want to go connector if they do a B rush. So we push A well, but unfortunately, no one went A. So we got fucked. Now the second thing I want to talk about this round is Savage. So you have the op. You know that we're going. You know that we're going B, or that we're pushing A. You're going B with the op. Now you take two things. One, you take a slow route. In a second, I'll show you. Let me write that down. I'll show you how to take the fast route to Monster. There's a faster way, because as you see, you got beaten there. Where if you had gone the faster way, you would have beaten him, and he was opping that, and you died, and you were the entry into the site. And since we only had two guys, we pretty much lost B for this. Now, what I want you to do, as the B player, if we have three guys here, we only have 2B. I want you guys to play passive. So Savage, if you're the anchor type character, I want you to play back here, either barrels or at the slope. And then Sulo, I want you to coordinate with Savage. Like, this is a good spot. You can watch water and fall back. But if Sulo, if you're playing back, Savage, I want you back here. Because if you're barrels, you can easily get flashed, you can easily get mollied, and then Sulo can't do you any help. yeah, he's too far away to help you. So if you're gonna play here, Savage, I want you to play here. Sulo, if you go to the headshot angle here, Savage, probably go here is better. Or let's see, where else can you play? Sulo, you can go on the pillar. You could stand on top of the sight, like on top of the sight boxes, if you want to get a little, if you want to like jump spot in the water. But it's something to coordinate, either to play relatively close or play relatively far back, because when you go one forward, like one Savage, you're too far pushed up. I'll also throw a smoke that if you're dead set on making that peak, there's a nice flash from here that'll get anyone over there. So I'll show you that in a second. First thing I'm going to show in this offline server is how to get to Monster the fastest, starting now. So I started at 5950. You come up here. You have to crouch to get over that. Then you come here. 13 seconds. That wasn't the most accurate op shot, but I'll take it. Okay, starting in the same spot. Ready, go. "15 seconds. So if you had come this way, you would have gotten there like 1/1000, 2/1000. You would have gotten there 2 seconds earlier, and you would have beat the guy to this angle, and you could have gotten the kill. Next thing I want to show you is anyone who wants to play the supportive player, sort of the free player on B, as I like to call it. I've got my notebook with my notes on it on my mouse pad, so my movement probably looks, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, anyone who wants to play the supportive player on B should know this flash. So you go here, you look at the building, middle set of windows, aim at this one, and then take a couple steps and throw. That flash will flash the hell out of anyone here. And if they're here, let's see if I can, it's kind of hard to show what the flash would look like. That's not where it lands. Where does it land? I can't get back to the position. But yeah, he's flashed AF. And if he's flashed, what do you think he's going to do? He can maybe run here, but he's got like 1/1000. He's got a whole second where he's vulnerable. He can run up here, which is super dumb because there's like 3 seconds where he's vulnerable. So again, Savage, whoops, missed it. So Savage, it sometimes bounces off there, but it'll still flash him if he's on the ground. See? One more time for luck. It does go just over these walls, and there's like an extra, there's kind of a lot of shit needs to get over. Let's see, I made up this flash this morning, so I'm still working out the kinks. That one works too, if you aim. Okay, next thing I want to show you is talking about if you want to play a passive angle in connector. I don't recommend doing this, because how does someone clear this? Okay, they clear that first goal. Then the next angle, they swing and they do that. Like, you don't want to be there, because at that point there's that angle to clear, and that's it. The only other angle would be like a weird angle like this that they might have to, like if you keep getting pre-fired here, next round just do this, and they'll have to do a weird adjustment where they go like that and then have to flick up there, and then that time you can get at least a dink, although you can't fall back because you'd have to like jump, in which case you would die. It's by the time you hit the ground, they've gotten 4 shots off, and that's 100 damage, so you're dead. So the next round is the next gun round. We lost round 4. Round 5 was an eco. We did a nice A push, but none of us were able to save weapons or armor. So we've got a straight, what is it, $5,000 plus across the board. So we got a nice buy. I'm going to first show Church's perspective, because I think it's Church, Saint, and Sulo do a nice job pushing mid, like exactly what I want, like exactly the most effective way to do it. Unfortunately, yet again, they don't really peek into you immediately. So, well, I guess one thing that could be better, when Saint, I'd prefer you in here if we're pushing mid, because what happens is if like I want you two to bunch up. I want you two to both go mid, or both go long. Because if one of you dies and you don't get the trade, Hobbit is in big danger. Sorry, Hobbit. Church is in big danger. Yeah, so that's a smaller point. The main point is that you do it well, because you watch Sulo there is watching mid, you smoke it off, and Church is jiggle peeking this angle. And unfortunately for you, one of their guys walk peeks connector and kills you. So there's not a whole lot for me to say about that. Church, if you want, did you have utility? I don't remember. You must have. Like, we had tons of. Oh, we didn't have that much money. So, well, you had a grenade, so you must have had flashes. A lot of times it's worth it to pop flash out and peek connector, and then smoke it, and you can maybe fall back, because that is a really common angle that you were holding just then. Is there anything else for me to say about that? Maybe jiggle peak, like a slower frequency, but basically you just lost the duel. That's what happened. And yeah, he got a nice shot on you. And it's fine. At this point, we should probably fall back to site, because fall back to A site, because all of a sudden, you two guys are in big danger, because this smoke is fading, so they can come up party and connector and pinch you guys. So at this point would be the time to fall back to site, and just one guy hold mid, one guy hold long, or maybe smoke one of them and then both watch the other one. Generally a good setup, you just got out-aimed. The next mistake I want to talk about in this round is my own. Savage and mine, you did not play B very well, I'm sorry to say. So, come on, let me switch. There we go. The rest on the right round, yeah? Okay. Fast forward a little bit. Couple mistakes. One, Savage plays too close. Second mistake is I play too close. I throw my favorite smoke in the whole map. I love throwing that smoke. I really respect, who was it, Yummy on the other team, because the molly he keeps throwing is really hard to throw. Like a lot of pros miss it all the time, so that's why I flash out and I peek water, which is stupid. I didn't need to do that. Probably because I have to watch connector and this smoke. I could very easily be traded, and then if I get traded, Church, you're in big danger, because suddenly they can peek you from the door and from like T connector, that tunnel. So I'm sorry, I fucked that one up. And also Savage is playing close, not quite as bad as he was playing, or not quite as aggressive as he was playing before, but I'd still prefer him at barrels. because you can, like, it's super easy to flash out. Like, I know you can't see my cursor, but like if you there's a bunch of flashes that pop right here that you can't see coming, and there's even a couple that land up here that are pretty hard to see coming because they come over so fast. That's why I don't like this position. Although you're probably not going to get pre-fired, so you're weighing the pros and cons. But so Church dies, whatever. Like it was a pretty good duel to take, honestly. Like you had a headshot angle, he had to walk out and peek 2 angles at once. But I recommend like crouching because there's all this is going on. Because if he walks up to here, he needs to peek that angle and this angle. So if you're hiding here, I recommend just crouching and like hiding, and then peeking out like once in a while when you know he's going to be there. So anyway, Savage does well and falls back, but we're on a 5-on-2. I don't expect us to win the round. So last thing I'm talking about is round number 12. What I like about this round is it highlights one of our strengths well. We do well pushing up A. I'm going to show Savage perspective at first. Savage runs down connector and pushes all the way through it, which I like. Hey, Savage just came online. And while I'm talking about it, so he pushes all the way through. Again, I have a couple of gripes, but they're kind of nitpicky. First of all, I want you two to be buds. If you're pushing up A, I want you to go together so you can watch each other's back. I'd rather have 2 guns pointed here and none pointed here, or 2 guns pointed here and none pointed here. I'd rather get trades, especially because T's will probably group up and take one or the other. And even if they send 2 guys here and 2 guys there, they're not going to be able to wrap you. Like by the time you see these guys and kill them, hopefully, these guys won't have time to come all the way here and get you at the same time. So what you'll do is you'll kill these guys and then you'll fall back, and then you'll be able to fight the other 2 guys like in this area or in this area. So the idea of playing up is go together, get as many kills as you can, and fall back. That being said, as Savage, if you want to push all the way through, I recommend either pop flashing this corner by yourself, or even having Sulo come down with you, and then having Saint just spot long or something. But like both of you go together. Like I said, that's a gripe because it worked, and it will work often. It's just it'll work more often if you ask for help. So you're going, you peek, good crosshair placement, looking at the right spot. They could be on your right, so that's kind of like a risky angle, and you get the kill. Perfect. And you fall back. I'm glad you fell back because they're chasing you. Or they're watching the top of the ladder, I think. What's 8 up to? Yeah, he's just watching the top of the ladder. And there, like, Hobbit gets was it Hobbit that kill? No, so Pierce, their star opper, he got a kill because Sulo got restless and pushed mid. Guess I'll show that on the map. Sulo pushed up here. Pierce was watching it, got the kill. And Saint was already rotating back. So again, I want Sulo and Saint to be buddies. So either you both go up or you both go that way. I don't want one or the other. I want you guys together like 90% of the time. It's like not even like 60% of the time. I want you like together 90% of the time. At least if you're both playing A. If we mix up positions, I want the 2 A guys together and I want the 2 B guys together. The only guy who's going to be moving back and forth in this setup is Savage, who decides either to go A or B or long or monster. Well, our CT side was such a clusterfuck. We kept moving, like for the first 6 rounds, I played the rotator spot, and then Savage and I switched. Ideally, the rotator will be the upper, but we can talk about that in practice. So anyway, what do we do? We've done 80% of the things right this round. We got it down to a 3 on 3. I'm happy with that. From here, we fall back properly. Savage, you'll see, goes all the way back up to heaven. And here's what I want to talk about. Now, what we do at this point is Savage is watching Monster. He's opting this angle, and Church is holding this angle. On the B site, it's pretty easy to pre-fire these two spots because there aren't tons of angles to peek. It's actually pretty easy to entry frag on this map, if you know the spots, of course. So, as a response to that, I want the two B players to hold one angle. Like, in this case, either Hobbit go up to sight and both hold this angle, or Savage come down here and both hold this angle. Because what happens is they come up here and kill Savage because he was dodging flash, and they come up water and kill Church just because he didn't have his gun out. Or maybe he did have his gun out, he just got out-aimed. I don't. It's late in the demo review. I'm just looking to see who won, or why we lost the round, not necessarily what the small mistakes were.
What was I talking about? Oh, that's right. How to set up crossfires. I'm not an author. Saint will tell you he 1v1'd me on an op map and I got wrecked. He was like trying to knife me and shit. Anyway, how to set up crossfires. If you decide, hey, we're gonna peek B, you have one guy, the Sulo type character, holding this angle, and he might be jiggling it. And then when Sulo sees someone, yeah, how do you hold this so you don't get shot from sandbags? Okay. So it is tricky. Like you can duck like right here. I like this spot because you can't. Let's see with the. Yeah, that's taller than a player model, so they won't be able to see you if you're like hiding here. And then if you don't want to go here because you can be shot from sandbags, but like if you're opping right here, then you can have Sulo here, and if you spot anyone, you can throw that molly, or you can throw that flash, or you can throw that flash. There's lots of stuff you can do, but if you've got an op, don't be seen from sandbags. Step 1. I think when Simple holds it, he holds it like that. What else? Yeah. So and then Sulo once in a while can like just do that for a second. And the hope is that if anyone's coming up here, they don't just hold this. They go, okay, no one's there, no one's there, no one's there, and then they're over here when you peek. And then you peek, and they have to flick to you. They're like looking here at heaven, and see, I missed. I overshot it. Let's see. I'm really not a flick player, but yeah, like they have to do something like that and then correct to kill you. So that's how you do it. You say, okay, we're gonna watch Monster, and then if you hear anything water, let's see, what's a good flash surface? Probably, yeah, that's decent. They'll see it coming, but at least they'll have to turn away, then you can shoot them. And if they see water, then you come up here and you peek this. Like if you know one's water, then you can come through and try and like take Monster. And then once you're here, then say, okay, they're not Monster, peek water, and then Savage you hold here, and Sulo, you hold this, so that you can get a shot, and if they chase you, Saint will get the pick. I know it's probably confusing. I'm sorry. It's very complicated, and it's not stuff I can call in the middle of the round. It's sort of, but it's the stuff that will win us so many rounds. It's like I would put it under the team play heading, just knowing how to hold sites.